Good evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here, playing a new game, Shadow Tactics, something or other of the Samurai. I really probably should have memorized the title of this game. Anyway, this is a new game, not just for me, it actually is just new. It came out relatively recently on goodoldgames.com, and you know me, I like to just get right into things with these games, so let's go ahead and start playing. We are going to be doing the tutorial level because this game has, in my opinion, one of the best tutorial levels of any game that I have ever played, so hats off to the developers. Not only does the tutorial pretty seamlessly introduce you to all the mechanics, but it doesn't feel forced, and it actually is kind of challenging. It's like a pretty long level. In the early part of it, you're learning the mechanics, you learn new mechanics kind of as you go, and then eventually there are definitely some like legitimately tough parts that I'm probably going to screw up. So anyway, in case you can't tell, this is a stealth action game. One little beef I have is that it is called Shadow Tactics. I mean, I think by convention, usually when you say tactics in the title of your game, it's turn-based. This is definitely not a turn-based game, although it's got a puzzle component to it for sure, and you oftentimes can just kind of sit in one place as you figure things out, so it's not like non-stop action. But anywho, it is real time, so dexterity does play a role. In this first mission here, we have to get up to the gate, and ultimately we're trying to open up the gate of this castle, which is currently being besieged by the good guys. The people in the castle are bad guys. I'm a good guy. I want to open up the gates to the castle held by the bad guys so that the good guys besieging the castle can get in there and take it over. Now, throughout the levels, you will find these little things that I just picked up, so I can't actually tell you because I just picked it up. Whoops! But you'll find those little floating scrolls, and you can control-click on them, and they'll like give you some information about the game's mechanics. Or if you already know how to play the game, you can just ignore them, which, again, is another little touch that's super nice about this game and how it plays, how it teaches you, and how it introduces you to all the mechanics. You know, you can just ignore that tutorial stuff if you don't want to, and some of these tutorials that are kind of scripted in are very unobtrusive. So let's go ahead and learn some of the mechanics here. As you can see, we can jump on a guard to kill him automatically. My mouse cursor changes when I do this. And by the way, I should note that, you know, a lot of these things that I've been doing here, like, you know, jumping across these gaps or using a grappling hook to sneak up here, I did not have to press a button to do that. It's just when you hover your mouse over it, if you can do something fancy there, then you do it. Like, you know, I could right now click and I would actually jump all the way down from this cliff. But right now we're just going to go ahead and click, jump on this guard, and kill him. Boom. Now I'm going to go ahead and crouch. You're going to spend most of this game crouched because when you are crouching, it is harder for the enemy to see you. I'm going to right click on this officer here and you can see his cone of vision. He ran off, so I can't really keep on going with my explanation. But anyway, when you're looking at a guard, the solid green means they can see you. The blank means that they cannot see you at all. And then eventually we're going to see some people who have kind of like alright, there is no one here who does what I'm trying to explain to you. Here we go. Eventually you'll see these kind of like slatted cones of vision. So that means they'll see you if you're standing, but they will not see you if you're crouching, which is a little bit unrealistic, but forget it. You know, it's a video game, so I'm fine with it. Mechanically, it works to produce a fine game. So you're gonna want to crouch a lot of the time, and if you want to move quickly, you can just right click. Let me press the W key to recenter. You can just right click and you'll run from a crouch, and then crouch at the end of the run. So you can still move fast even when you're crouching. You're pretty much just going to want to hit that spacebar once and go into crouch mode and stay there throughout the mission. In this game, your characters also have various skills that you can kind of use, sort of like in, I don't know, like almost like World of Warcraft almost, where they're like on a cooldown and they have an effect that you can read about when you hover over it. This game is really similar to Commandos, which is another stealth action game, but that game was really unforgiving. This game is a lot more forgiving. In this game, when you step into the field of vision of an enemy, they don't notice you right away. The green vision cone turns yellow, starting at the enemy and progressing outward. And once that yellow beam hits you, then they notice you, and then that's bad. You'll probably want to reload the level when that happens. But as long as you get out of their field of view before the yellow reaches you, then you're fine. And even if enemies do attack you, it's not the end of the world. Your character has some health, and you can get into a scuffle and then heal yourself one time during the level to heal some damage. But of course, you know, if you're like me, you're probably going to be playing obsessively and only, you know, gonna beat the level if you never have to get into any kind of scuffles, because it's not that kind of a game. But if you want to play it a little bit more Rambo-like, you can, and heal some of the damage up afterwards. In this video, I'm gonna be reloading anytime the guards spot me and cause problems. So you press F5 to quick save, and I really like this feature here, this reminder of how long it's been since your last save. So then you only have yourself to blame if you know, too long has gone by before a save, and you have to repeat a bunch of your work. Another mechanic I like in this game are the civilians. So civilians, they don't attack you, but if they see you, they will go run and find a guard, and then the guard will come get you. So it's really kind of interesting because, like, you don't want to kill the civilians. It doesn't ruin the mission or anything, but it feels bad to kill them, but they are definitely an obstacle. But if you're having too much of a problem, you can just go ahead and take the moral hit and just kill them if you need to get past it. So I really like the way that that's been implemented. One tutorial here just pointed out the H button. So when you press the H button, it highlights some of the key things in the level. You can hide bodies in bushes, and the bodies will go away forever because, you know, bushes eat bodies. They'll highlight things like these little hooks that you can grapple onto and climb onto roofs. They'll highlight doors that you can hide inside, which is a pretty handy key because sometimes you are like, hey, you know, where can I get on top of the roofs here? And so it's nice to be able to press H and find these hooks. Anyway, let's go ahead and kill this guard. I don't need to, but just to show you, I can just press the A key to activate my ninja toe skill, and then I click on the guard, and then he's dead. And if I was being particularly careful, I could, for example, throw him into a bush, or just dump the body off the side of that balcony to get rid of it. Alright, now let's go ahead and climb up here, because this is the only way to proceed. So we hop onto the roof. And again, I'm not pressing a special key to activate that, I'm just clicking on it, and the mouse cursor changes accordingly. We can now, why did I do that?
Move like water.
Well, I could do that. That wasn't very helpful. I think we're supposed to go over here.
Quiet.
Jump down. As is true to stealth games, you don't have to kill everybody. So I could go kill these guards. It would take some effort, but I'm not going to because there's just no value to it, really. There's no inventory or anything like that. You don't find money. You don't find consumables or pick-me-ups. And in a way, that's good because it's just like less stuff to worry about. You don't have to worry about consumables and whatnot.
No.
But of course, some people might not like it because, you know, there's like less going on. It is fun to have like RPG elements in the game and like level up and collect things and stuff. But I think overall I like the fact that, you know, because there isn't anything to find on the guards' bodies, you can just totally ignore the guards on a clear conscience knowing that you don't need to do anything. So again, you can right click on somebody to see their view cones. I could kill this guy pretty easily. He's quite vulnerable out here, but I think we'll just sneak past him. Often there is an advantage to killing the guards because when you kill them, you know, they're obviously not around later. Like if I were to get stuck at this part of it and I wanted to go back, you know, there's a risk that I would actually get caught in this guy's field of vision. Like it is sort of going into this area. So if I had lingered there, he would have seen me. So it is, you know, perhaps cooler to sneak by the guards, and oftentimes levels will have like badges where if you don't kill anybody, you get like, you know, bonus points that don't actually matter, but it's just, you know, for bragging rights. I, by the way, am bad at this game, so I will not be going after any of the hardcore badges or anything like that, but it is something that you can care about if you want to, but if you don't care about that stuff, then it's just better usually to kill them.
Move like water.
So now we need to get past these two guards, which is a little bit of a tricky situation, because there's two of them, so if I, you know, just kill one with my ninja toe, then the other one would wreck my face. So we are introduced to a new skill here, the rock throw. Some of this stuff is not particularly realistic, again, but that's okay, because mechanically it works. I'm going to go ahead and get right to the edge of this guy's field of vision, so if I stood, he could see me, but because I'm crouching, he cannot. Now I'm going to go ahead and stand for just a second, and he's going to be like, huh? But then I'm going to sit back down, and you see this yellow? It started to expand. Because I crouched back down and left his field of view, he became fine and then ignored me. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and throw a rock. What you can do is throw a rock and it creates a noise. The yellow ring is the range at which I can throw a rock. The blue ring is the range of noise that the rock generates. So I'm going to throw the rock, and when those guys look over there, I'm going to run by. Like a ninja. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and hold the spacebar to skip the cutscenes. I will say I like the story in this game. I think it's quite good. The voice acting is pretty good. I definitely enjoy listening to the cutscenes and listening to all the characters' interactions with each other and so on. I'm just going to be skipping them in this video in the interest of time and avoiding spoilers if you end up playing the game. So here, I'm going to go ahead and click on this guard, right-click on him to see his field of view, and that tells me that I'm actually pretty safe wandering out here. Now, I need to take out this guard, and there's a couple different ways that that can be done. But what I'm going to do is use my new skill here that just opened up, the shuriken. So the shuriken is a ranged attack. It's got a pretty long range, but you don't have the ability to throw it over obstacles the way that you can throw a rock, obviously. You only have one shuriken, so you need to make sure you go up to the corpse and pick up your shuriken after using it. Or else you can't use the shuriken for the rest of the level. Now usually it's pretty easy to do that, but there can be some instances in which it'd be cool to just be like a sniper and shoot out dozens of shurikens and then kill guards at long range. This is making you get up to your corpse, making the gameplay a little bit more tactical. So it's less of a fire and forget thing and more of something you have to keep in mind. Either you have to take the risk to go to the body and get your shuriken back, or you have to just be okay with not having the shuriken for the rest of the level. So it's kind of your call here. Let's go ahead and combine skills. We're going to go and throw a rock. While he's looking over at the rock, we'll chuck a shuriken at him. Now I'm going to hold the control key to go up to the guard and pick up his corpse. And then I'm going to dump the corpse in that barrel, which also permanently removes the body, because that's what barrels do. Yeah, so that's kind of some of the gameplay. And you can see the gameplay is just very satisfying, fundamentally. It's just really, really fun to sneak up on people and kill them. And it gets really hard, really fast. So we're even going to see in this tutorial, there's some challenging moments, because usually it's not just single guards hanging out here like this. For the most part, you know, there's like, pretty quickly it gets to the point where there's like just like tons of guards and with all crisscrossing view cones, and it's not easy to just sneak up on him and kill him, and you really have to plan your approach. Anyway, this guy over here, he's going to be my friend. They don't know each other yet, but they're about to become acquainted, and he'll be one of the main companions throughout the game. Right now he's kind of ambushed by these dudes, so we're going to go ahead and drop that thing and make some noise. And while they're distracted by the noise, he's going to go up and kill them all. Alright, now I got two characters that I can control. I'm going to press the 3 key, so that's Mugen, the samurai. He's got a different skill set than Hayato, the shinobi over here. Mugen is a lot more combat-oriented. He's a big, burly guy, he's super strong. He can carry 2 corpses at once and run while doing so. And he also has an area of effect sword attack, which allows him to kill multiple enemies in one go.
I will join them soon if I do not.
He's also really stealthy, because even though he's a giant lumbering beast of a man, when he crouches, he's totally invisible. Alright, so I gotta take out this guard here. And these 3 guards I also need to take out. So we're gonna think about how to approach this guard. There's a couple different ways that it can be done. I can just run out here while his field of view is not pointed that way. Or I can use his trick with the sake bottle. What this does is it lures an enemy guard over to it if they spot it in their green field of view. And now that he is wandering over here, I'm gonna go up and just whack him to death with my katana. Now in this game, kind of unrealistically perhaps, you are totally invisible while in bushes. Just completely invisible forever. So I can go up to the bushes right next to these 3 guards and then use my whirlwind attack to kill them all. Now when you're using this whirlwind attack, you press the S key to activate it, and you can right click to cancel. But when you have the S key pressed, the yellow is the range at which you can use the attack. So you basically dash to the point, any point inside the yellow range to activate it. And then once you activate it, the red ring around that is the radius at which the attack will be effective. So where I currently have my mouse, it's within the yellow zone, meaning that Mugen can activate the attack there if I click on it, and all the bad guys are in the red zone, meaning they will all die once I click, like this. Hiya! And normally, you know, you'd want to get rid of all these corpses, because obviously if enemy guards see corpses, they will come and investigate. But right here, I'm just not going to bother with that because it's not necessary. But, you know, I could just easily drag them all over to the bushes. I guess I will show you. He can carry 2 corpses at once and dump them in the bushes for permanent removal. Alright, now let's go ahead and really stealthily use a cannon to blow a hole open through this gate that nobody becomes aware of at all.
Once I'm inside, I'll clear the way for you.
Yeah, by the way, the voice acting, if you do happen to hear it between snatches of my blabbing, is pretty good. I do like it. The one beef I have with the voice acting, gotta say, is that these two guys have a Japanese accent. Everybody else, British. I don't know why. The developers couldn't find enough Japanese actors or Japanese American actors or shit, just actors willing to do a Japanese accent. Why there's two guys who are Japanese, and then everyone else is like, pip pip, fancy a pint with my mates from Oxford, do ya? Like, I don't understand why we had to do British actors, but anyhoodle. What I'm going to do now is wait for this patrol to pass, because two guys are kind of difficult for Hayato to take out. You can maybe shuriken one and then ninja toe the other, but you're probably going to get hit. It's not the sneakiest way of doing it. What I'm going to do with him is after they pass, run out here, throw a shuriken at this guy's throat, and dump him in the bush, permanently removing all traces of blood and his body. Now, Mugen is free to just waltz in through the gate and join Hayato in the bush. Now, you'll remember there was a guard patrolling this area. Two guards is not a problem for Mugen, so we're just going to wait for these guys to pass by and then run out and sword wind them to death. Here we go. Boink! Oh shit, I'm bad at this game. I'm bad at this game. I'm bad at this game. Yeah, okay, so it's a good thing I just quick saved. Anyway, you see the problem there, right? You see the problem? I killed these guys where others could see them. So, I alerted a whole bunch of guards, and I could probably survive and get out of this, but I'm not going to bother doing that. One thing the developers did to make this game more interesting and kind of encourage you to play it tactically and not like Rambo is all skills have a cooldown. So this one has this cooldown of 18 seconds, and usually you're not going to need to do this every 18 seconds, but, you know, it prevents you from using it, like, over and over and over to just kill everything. Okay, I got seen again. Yeah, maybe I need to go take out that guard down there. You keep seeing me. I thought this would be out of the way. Anyway, as you can tell, I'm bad. I said I was bad. I am definitely bad. I'll be quick saving a lot and loading. Let's see what's going on here. It's this guy down here. What exactly is his range? He just barely sees up here. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a little bit smarter here. I'm gonna crouch behind these guys, and then I'm gonna run up, and then do a sword wind out here where nobody's looking. So you can see that even in the tutorial level, if you play carelessly, you will get punished. And I feel like I don't know. I don't think it's accidental. I think it's by design. I mean, the developers did a good job, I think, making sure that, you know, you learn, whether directly or indirectly, that you need to play this game with some care. Now, one thing you can do is you can right-click on a spot on the ground, and this will tell you if anybody can see it. So if you're more concerned with, is this spot visible by somebody, as opposed to, what does this particular person see, which you can tell by right-clicking on them, then you can use that feature to find out. Okay, so now we're trying to get over to this gate. This is kind of like our next intermediate objective, and the game kind of leaves you free to do it howsoever you like. I'm gonna go ahead and come over here, because you can see that there's these two officers standing here, and nobody is keeping an eye out at all. So
Shogun's looking for a weak spot.
my samurai Mugen will just creep over here. Yeah, these guys are very vulnerable, and this is the kind of thing that gets way less common as the game goes along. In fact, it pretty much never happens that there's just like somebody standing there where you can easily creep up on him, and nobody will see you kill him. There's another guy here who's very vulnerable, so I'm gonna go ahead and take him out too. Oh wait, no, let me get this bush for a second.
We can agree on that.
So this officer here doesn't look down the lane, but this guy is on patrol. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for this guard to be next to the stationary one. And then as they're having a chit-chat, we're going to sword wind. And just in case, I'll pick up these corpses, dump them in a bush. Again, you don't need to kill these guards, but by killing the guards, you eliminate all the areas of the level that are seen by somebody, and that enables you to, you know, just be able to play a little bit more casually if you're not such a hardcore player of the game. By the way, notice I've left a lot of guys unkilled. I never killed anybody in this area at all. I didn't kill this guy keeping watch. I actually was hoping to. I'll just do this maybe just to show you. Like, when I hover over this door, notice how all three doors light up? That's because in this situation, I can actually go into one door and come out any of the other three. So Hayato, actually Mugen can do this as well, I suppose, can go into one of these doors, come like on the ground floor, come out on the top floor, kill this watchman, and then sneak back through the door out to the ground floor, for example. But all that is totally unnecessary, because I just decided to use my samurai here. And I think, again, I think that was intentional on the part of the designers, being like, hey, you know, we'll give you your choice. Make a pretty easy level where you can just kind of do whatever you want. You can either use the samurai to just kill everybody, or the ninja to sneak around and kill everybody that way. Now this guy's just freaking toast. I mean, he is totally hopeless. Shuriken's fine. I could have used my sword, which would have been fine. I could have had my samurai kill him. Anything would have been fine. Alright, so now we're at this door. And this is a tricky little challenge because there's a guard who's staring at the door pretty consistently. I mean, he's kind of turns away for a little time, and then he turns right back at the door. This guy, luckily, doesn't see the door. If this guy could see the door, that would be a much tougher challenge. But luckily, there's this wagon full of barrels that is stopping this guy from seeing the door. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my eye on this guard. And when he's not looking at the door, I'm going to sneak in and hide in the bushes. And I can do that with both characters. So yeah, you got this big fat samurai guy who slices and dices with the best of them, but don't be fooled. He, apart from not being able to climb up using a grappling hook, he is, you know, as stealthy as anybody. Okay, now, we have to get rid of these two guards, clearly, but it's a bit of a tricky situation because there's this guard who I believe occasionally can see down here, and then there's these two guards who actually can't see this one. Actually, sorry, I spoke wrong. These guys don't actually get to see either of these two guards. But we need to take care of these two guards, and it's tricky because they're looking at each other, basically. That's what I should have been saying from the beginning. So this guy often sees this one, and this guard is looking at this one all the time. So there's a couple different ways that you can do it. And one thing that the game does at this point is introduce you to the mechanic of shadow mode. So what shadow mode allows you to do is queue up actions. I just pressed the shift key and now I'm in shadow mode. And the game is still going, so it's still real time. You're still moving around. Oh, sorry, you don't move around in real time. Like this move action is just queued up. So I beg your pardon, that's incorrect. If you input any action, even though everything's continuing to happen in real time, it will be queued up instead of actually happening. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to queue up. God darn it. Okay. I'm going to queue up, shift key, just killing this guy with a katana. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn over to my ninja person, and I'm going to throw a rock to distract this guard's attention. So that this guard is looking at the rock I threw instead of looking up at this guard here. So what I can do now is throw the rock,
Done.
and as the guard is looking at it, I press the enter key to execute the other action. Quickly grab the corpse. Quickly grab the corpse. Oh shit! Get in there. Nope, I messed up. Okay, well, you can kind of see what I was going for there. Perhaps. What I'm trying to say is that you can queue up actions. And then press the enter key to execute all the actions that you have queued up. I mean, you can even do... I can even maybe try queuing up shuriken here. And then queuing up sword wind here. So now I have actions queued up for both characters. And when I press the enter key, they'll both do it. Okay, that was a much better way of getting things done. Now, this is made a lot easier. This particular situation was made easier by the fact that these two guards could see each other and nobody else could see them. The other guards were too far away and don't look in this direction. Obviously, in later parts of the game, you're not going to have a situation that's so simple. Okay, so now we have our next challenge. These guys are straw hats. Straw hats are not distracted by noise, and they won't fall for, like, the sake trick. You basically cannot get them to leave their post. So you have to handle the situation a different way. Conveniently, there is a ladder here. So what I think I'm going to do, if this works, let's quick save just in case. What I think I'm going to do if this works is creep on over to this bush using my, oh shit, oh fuck. What I was thinking was maybe I could creep over to that bush and sword wind them when the other guard comes up. But I don't think that's actually possible, is it? Yeah, this guy looks at the ladder too much for me to make it down the ladder. Okay, so change of plans. Let's see if we can approach from the other side. Notice I have to keep crouching. I cannot run here because if I were to run, I'm in the slatted vision cone. They would see me. All right, so I'm gonna now creep over to these bushes. Okay, and I'm gonna have to dash across here when that view cone isn't there. Dash, dash, dash. Boom. Alright, so now I'm in this bush.
The sake trick won't work on the straw hat guards. They never leave their posts.
I like the banter. It's giving you information about the mechanics, but it's actually pretty believable. So now I'm gonna see if there's a way that I can get all three of these people into my sword wind. Right now, I can dash that because it's within the yellow zone, and the straw hats are within the red zone. And the guard as well, so boom, and they're all dead. Alright, that worked out pretty well. And again, you could have used Hayato here to do it a different way. You can see there's a grappling hook there, there's a door you could hide, and there's other stuff you could have done. But that's the way we decided to go about it, and now we're entering the next phase of the mission. So there's a sniper who is luckily on our side. He's pretty cool. He's got some cool lines of dialogue. I'm gonna skip it again, not because it's bad, but just because I want to avoid spoilers, and I want to give you a chance to, you know, learn the story on your own. And also, if you end up, you know, not having a lot of time, these levels are pretty long. It saves some time. So anyway, this guy is kind of an interesting character. He's perched over here, and you cannot get him to leave, but you can shoot other guards. So that obviously makes it pretty clear that, you know, somebody's there, but you can do this. It's basically a really nice way to make the level easier. You do not need him to kill any of these guards. You can see the A skill, I've got 7 shots. But if you get stuck at this part of the tutorial, you can use this guy to clear out any of the guards that are in your way. I'm gonna go ahead and try to do this without using that guy, because I've done it before, and because, you know, I think by doing that we also get to show off some of the other types of strategy in this game. So first of all, this is another case of like 2 doors. So when I walk in here, I can come out the other door and then kill this guard. This is a very vulnerable guard because nobody is watching him. Nobody is close enough to him to hear him when he dies. And that is the kind of thing that, again, as you go along further in the game, happens with increasing rarity. And by the way, the A skill of the samurai, using a katana to kill these straw hats, is equivalent to the ninja dude using his ninja toe. Those are basically the same thing. The one difference is that later in the game, you end up finding a new type of monster, or not monster. These are people, damn it, they're not monsters. You might find a new type of enemy called samurai, and they have armor. And Mugen's melee attack busts through their armor, whereas Hayato's ninja toe does not. Okay, so we have our next challenge here. There's no... I can go through this gate, but this gate is pretty much under constant surveillance by that guard. There's also guards over here who are looking out pretty long ways. Luckily, most of their vision is slatted, so if I were to come out this gate, this guard would be my primary concern, and of course, this guard when he's out here running on his patrol. Now,
Time for action.
one thing I could try to do is use a rock to distract that guard's vision. Notice I can do that because the rock, unlike the shuriken, can be thrown over walls. So if you were thinking, which I initially thought when I played this game, like, man, this rock is really lame compared to like the sake trick, which just distracts a guard and gets them over to you so you can easily kill them. This is one example where like the rock is actually pretty handy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for the other guard to run off.
Getting there.
And then I have to act very quickly here. I go here,
Keep your head down. My being
get caught, and yeah, lose level. So one thing I did that was definitely a mistake is I shouldn't be doing this. What the hell am I doing? This is definitely a mistake. The problem with this course of action is, and I'll show you this, I don't know what I was thinking, is that these guys up here, they have a slatted field of vision of this guard. So once he dies, they're gonna see him die and they're definitely gonna run over there. So kids, don't do that. That's a mistake. But what I can do is I can sneak past this guard into this bush and then maybe sneak past him into the other bush as well, because these guards are not looking down here at the bushes. So let's try that, shall we? All right, so come on, Hayato. By the way, this is the case where again you have multiple paths you can try to take. You can also go up this way. There's a bunch of guards up here, but you can try taking out some of these guards too, and then come into this area down here. And again, if you just start having trouble with it in your first playthrough, you can just use Mr. Sniper Man to just kill this guard and call it a day. Okay, but let's try this one more time. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait for this guard to run off, and after he runs off, I throw the stone, causing the guard to look another direction, and then I casually just crouch over here to this bush where I am hidden from sight. There is a straw hat up here. This guy is looking out over this area, and he does see this area as well, so there is some benefit to killing him. And of course you can check to see, well, could I get away with it? So one thing you can do is you can right click on the area behind him to see if anybody sees it, and the answer is no, nobody sees it. The other thing you want to check to see is, does this guy have a clear view of this climbing apparatus? And the answer is, it seems like he does not. So I'm just going to casually climb up here,
Blades ready.
ninja toe this guard who is not seen by anybody. Oh, actually that guard does have line of sight very briefly as he's running across the courtyard. Interesting. And I'm not going to worry about taking care of his corpse because nobody sees him, so there's no way that anybody's ever going to find that there's a body there. Now we're going to casually climb back down, get back in the bush. Okay, so next step is, you'll notice that there's a bunch of wood conveniently hanging over these two guards. So if I can get up here and turn this crank, I can kill the two of them. If I wait for this guard to be on patrol over here while that happens, I can kill all three. So the only question now is, how do I get up there? So while these two guys are chatting, there's no way to do it. And while this guy's just sitting here, I'm going to have to run across or distract him with a rock. I'm going to go ahead and just do both. And while he's looking over there, quickly run across the courtyard.
Right.
Okay. So now, when this guard is chatting with these officers, you'll notice I will be able to go here because the officers don't have view of this area, and this guard's view is pretty limited. I can run across this amount pretty quickly.
Straight into
So now I've run across his field of view, I can climb up this area, which nobody's looking at,
time for action.
sneak over here to this bush, and then notice these officers do see this ladder. So if I were to just try to casually climb up this ladder, I would not succeed in my efforts. However, if I wait for them to talk to this guard who's on patrol, then they turn around for a short bit. Nope, they don't. All right, ahem. Good job, Boris. Master Samurai. Oh man, please tell me I hit the F5 key after I ran into these bushes. Please tell me I hit the F5 key after I'd run into those bushes. Oh, okay, we're over here. Alright. Well, that's fine. I didn't really do anything super exciting. I just ran over to this bush here. Whew. Okay, that was sloppy play, but I wasn't punished. We're going to go ahead and wait for this guard to talk to his buddy running patrol before running over to that bush. Climb on up here and sneak over to this bush. Oh god, that was very sloppy, but okay. So you can see that they saw me, but thankfully they didn't see me enough. Okay, why don't we just see if this will work. If I just throw a rock, can they just all look over at this rock while I climb the ladder? There we go. That was smart. Okay. I don't know why I said smart sarcastically. That was smart. I guess I was just embarrassed that I didn't think of it earlier. All right. So anyway, now this guard's running patrol. Okay. This dude right here. I'm gonna save because I don't. So when I inevitably fuck it up again, I don't lose. This guard's running patrol, chatting with his buddy over here. And I'm waiting for him to come back so that when I drop the beams on these two guards, I kill him too. Now, you don't have to do that. You can just kill these guys. Then when he comes up here, he's all confused, like, oh, where'd my buddies go? But this is just a bit cleaner. So they all die. And now, we're very close. So these are the barrels of gunpowder that I need to carry. The only thing standing in my way are really these three guards. These straw hats are facing the other direction, so they're not a problem. But these three guards, and so I could just use Mr. Old Man Sniper over here to kill him, and, you know, that would be the sort of easiest way, but let's just go ahead and play it for real. I haven't used my samurai in a while. So, one thing that you'll notice here is that it's pretty tricky to get past this guard, because this guard is just looking straight here. There's a couple different ways I can try to solve the problem. One way is I can throw some sake out here, and use the sake to kill him when he comes out to get it. Okay, so now this man is doing some talking. The problem with this plan is that this guard has a loop, right? Right now he's chatting with his buddy, but when he runs over here, you know, I can maybe lure the guy off with sake, but if I do my timing badly, then what'll happen is that while this guy is getting the sake and I do the killing, this guy will come over and hear it or see it happening. So as insurance against that, what I can do is take my Shinobi over here, Obi-Wan Shinobi, run on down here. Who? What? What the? Where did that guy even come from? Who is this? Oh, right, that's the guy who's I haven't killed him yet. Right, God, I'm stupid. Okay, so forgot about a guy there. You know, if you're a good player, you'd be checking your spots by right-clicking on the ground to see who can see what. Oh, I saved before I killed those things, but not after. Yeah, so just, you know, friendly heads up. I talk a big game while playing this, but then I make dumb mistakes like this. So anyway, we're going to have to wait for this guard to come back up here so I can kill him again, and then maybe not be an idiot when making my retreat. Alright, so there he is. Bonk. Alright, so now I'm going to do this intelligently. Let's just crawl over here and climb down this shrubbery. Okay, now there are some civilians here. Luckily, they are just really preoccupied with the people that they're healing, so I'm not worried about being seen by them.
Time to move.
And get back up on this little shed, and I can actually leap over here. I also could shuriken this guy. Of course, the problem with that is that after I shuriken him, he will be seen by his buddy there. Also, he sees me. Are you serious? God darn it, I did not realize I would be visible on that shed. Okay, so yeah, there's a couple of problems with that plan. Now, one thing that you can do if you're willing to be really sloppy is just take the kill and let the guards be confused so they'll know. Did I really not quick save after? Oh my god. So one thing you can do is you can just kill somebody and let that person be found. And if you do that, then the other people will like run around and kind of search for a while, trying to, you know, see if they can find the person who's infiltrated their midst. It's sloppy, but you can pretty much get away with it because after not finding anybody for a while, they'll just give up. You do lose quite a few brownie points when you choose to proceed through the level in that way. Anyway, I hope this example shows just how tricky this game can be, just like with the use of, you know, a few guards. You know, I screwed up and forgot about this guard and got caught. I screwed up and forgot about that guard and got caught. Let's go ahead and just kill this one, because he's not, nobody sees him anymore.
Better stick to got it.
So I can just kill him. And now it's just those two guards. And I think we'll just do this the easy way. Instead of climbing up through here and worrying about that, I'm going to have Mugen just wander in through the gate.
Just be quick.
And sword wind these two guys. Maybe he can? I'm not sure actually if he can do that. He might not be able to. At least not without taking a shot first. But yeah, I think we can probably do it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to throw a rock when the two guys are both there. And then Mugen will run around the back and get the job done. In fact, why don't I use shadow mode here? So I have the rock queued up. Now I'm going to press the enter key. Have the action happen. Okay, that was almost a competent demonstration of the game's mechanics right there. So I queued up the rock throw with the shadow form, selected the other character. When I was ready, I pressed enter to execute the other action, and then I did it. Now the only thing left are these two straw hats, which I do not need to kill, so I'm not going to bother with them, although I could kill them easily enough with my sword wind. Okay, so now what I need to do is get on up here so I can drop the barrel from up here to this area.
It will be easy for him to heave the barrel up onto the
Obviously this is a little bit easy because I already killed all the guards first. If you wanted to, you could have Mugen grab the barrel and like make it over in real time with real time. Oh god, I do not want to actually attack the barrel with my katana. That's not what I want to do. I'm not even sure that the game would let you do that. That would be pretty stupid. But here, if you kill all the enemies beforehand, it's just easy. You just wander up here. And now let's go into shadow form one last time and queue up dropping the barrel. I'm gonna take control of Mr. Sniper Man and press enter key to do my queued actions. So once the barrel lands there, I shoot at it and thus beat the level. I'll skip the cutscene again, not because it's bad, but just in the interest of saving time and so that you can play the game and watch the story, which I do think is good. I think it's worth paying attention to the story when you play this game. Alright, so folks, that'll do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and or subscribe, and I'll be back soon playing the second level of this really fun little game. Take care.